Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the picks and bans here for the grand final of the Tower Dive TV Weekly 42nd tournament. And I'm Gil Frost, and joining me today is Grizz Rage. How's it going today, Grizz?
It is going as good as it can get right now.
That is for sure. Anyway, we do have the bans and the first couple of picks here, so let's talk about them a little bit. That Nidalee ban is interesting, I would say.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I wonder if someone from their team had a very good Nidalee game, but we do see that Oriana Zach combo already starting to come out, so that's very exciting. But we do see Vayne lock in and possibly an Elise lock in.
Yeah, and then we do have that Janna as well, and I think we've seen pretty much every single. I haven't seen Sona on stream yet today. But between we've seen just about every single of the most popular supports with their awesome AOE abilities group, and Janet is one that we don't see quite as much recently. But yeah, and by the way, just in case I hadn't mentioned it, the teams for this grand final are Wenzhou team, which we just saw on stream in the semifinals, and they are going to be on team blue, and then on team red/purple is Azure Black, who have likewise fought their way through this bracket to the finals, and both of them are looking at the gold right now as Tristana being hovered over here. And Sejuani as well. Those would be very, very realistic picks. I wouldn't be surprised if they lock those in.
Shaco, lock in Shaco. I want Shaco play.
Oh, there's a Sona. That would be. I think that's the complete set there. I mean, Thresh has been banned out almost every game, but Sona, Lulu, Janna. Who are the other big AOE supports that I'm thinking of? Zyra and Nami. Those are the top picked champions as far as support goes in NALCS anyway, and I believe pretty consistent in Europe as well. But there's that Sona pick to go along with that Tristana.
Crescendo is awesome. That's all there needs to be said. Along with her early ability to poke, but she's so squishy. At the beginning of the game, she is a real easy target, especially with that Vayne and Janna combination. So they're going to have to play very, very kind of passive, aggressive, so to speak, at least until they hit level 6 and they do have that crescendo.
Yeah, and then I mean they will have. We've got two hyper carry AD carries here, but Sona is going to give a little bit more of an opportunity as well for the sustain. If she does opt to level that heal up at all, she will at least have that option, and so we'll see how that plays as this bottom lane. In this bottom lane, that is, as Chrisix hovering over that Vladimir. But on the other side of things, once again, we do see Ahri has been in every game on stream today, and then Malphite has been in a few games as well. But those are the last picks here for Wenzhou, and got one more pick here from Azure Black.
And it looks like he may or may not pick up that Vladimir. That'll be an interesting pick, as he will possibly might be going against Malphite in the top lane. Who knows? That might be a top Oriana and a middle of Vladimir, so that'll be quite interesting to see, as Vladimir would be a little bit more effective in the mid lane against Ahri, just with his pull and his ability to dodge. But like I said, we won't be able to know until we get into the game and we do finish this up, and that is going to be a Vladimir locked in. So that will either be a top or mid Vladimir and a top or mid Oriana. We'll just have to see as soon as we get into the game.
Yes, either way, those are going to be the teams. So, I mean, we already talked about the fact that, I mean, we've got Tristana and Vayne, and I'm surprised we haven't seen actually more Vayne. We actually saw Vayne banned in one game earlier on, but Vayne has been incredibly popular lately in the solo queue anyway. And I don't know, I guess I was surprised we didn't see more of her, but we do see her in this game, so we will have a couple of late game hyper carries here looking to get fed, and we'll see here as... other than that, I mean, both of these teams have pretty open team comps. I mean, they're both going to have a good ability to initiate. That Oriana Zac initiation we saw last game was pretty powerful, and then you also have that added threat of Sona coming in with that ultimate. But then on the other side of things, I mean, you've got that Malphite with the unstoppable force, and so we'll see what these teams do as we go throughout this game. Both, I just going to be in some interesting team fights here, I think.
Yeah, we do have that Zac and Oriana combination coming into play, hopefully, once again, with that Zac initiate and that Oriana combination. If he does land into the back lines and gets all three of their carries pulled back and stuck together. So that's going to be interesting to see. And we also see, as soon as that happens, we do have the possibility of Vladimir coming in and dropping his ultimate. And then we do have Sona coming in there, throwing down her crescendo. So that's a lot of AoE possibility and a lot of AoE lockdown. As soon as that crescendo comes out, Zac can go ahead and pop his Let It Bounce and just let Tristana and give her the ability to let the damage roll.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw last game that worked out fairly well for Wenzhou, and so this time Azure Black picking up a similar build. So we'll see what they can do with it. But one thing we haven't talked too much about is Elise has been picked up in almost every game as well. We've seen both Elise and Ari in almost every game, and Oriana for that matter. Oriana and Zac. So really standard picks. The picks that are kind of unusual are really that Janna and that Vladimir. So I'm curious to see how those guys work out.
Yeah, instead of seeing a Vladimir top, you're or even that possible Malphite top, you typically see other people like Shen and Renekton, mainly Renekton being played top. A lot of Renekton. It was actually quite surprising not to see Azure Black pick up a Renekton to go top. So that's going to be interesting to see with that possible Vladimir in the top lane. Like you said, you really don't see him quite a bit. I do know Cybolic plays him a ton in the MCS, and you really don't see him on the LCS level. So he's not a champion that is very widely picked. But does have the potential to be good. His ultimate is quite devastating, especially with an AoE combination team coming out. So it'll be interesting to see where exactly he plays in this game.
Yeah, well, and it's going to be interesting to see how Janna reacts to some of these dives and the possibility of just these AoE, dives from Azure Black with her ultimate and to get that disengage. Because outside of that, that's going to be your main disengage. Vayne is going to have that knockback from the. Now my mind's blanking.
You had to get my mind blank too.
Right. No. Oh boy. Well, either way, she's going to have that knockback, and but other than that, it's going to be interesting to see how they position themselves in team fights in order to mitigate some of that AoE damage that is intended from Azure Black as we're coming into the loading screen here shortly.
I'm still on. It starts with a D. Yeah. What is it? I'm looking it up.
Condemn.
I'm upset. Or it starts with a C. There's a D in there somewhere.
There's
I knew it.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. Either way, Condemn from Demon Slayer Vayne.
She has played so much that I feel really terrible for getting, because it's like the number one Condemned to a wall and get that stun off. And oh my gosh, I feel embarrassed now.
People don't realize how many things you have to remember. Last week I forgot barrier. I was like the shield with the stuff and
the golden yellow shield. It protects you from damage incoming. What is that called again?
Yeah, it's yellow. I know what it looks like, and yeah. But either way, let's take a look at these skins here. Victorious Janna, Demon Slayer Vayne, the only two coming out from Wenzhou.
It's actually Azaraki Slayer Vayne.
Azaraki Slayer Vayne.
Yes.
Boy, is he even watching? I doubt it. But then we got Riot Girl Tristana and Arcade Sona along with Bladecraft Oriana. So I guess I'd have to give it to Azure Black.
Skin Intimidation, Azure Black, guaranteed. Especially with Arcade Sona.
Yeah, Arcade Sona. I guess Arcade Sona is kind of a voodoo pick in certain circles because some of the animations, I guess, show the buffs differently. And also the fact that it's got like one up, and what did she say? Game over when she dies, I think, is the main. And people just apparently think that is some sort of bad omen to have game over listed on your champion skin. But not fearing that, Brown Handlebars picks up that arcade Sona, my favorite. As far as level one goes, very much expecting to see what we've been seeing all day long, and just standard, dancing around this mid, but not too much early action, and yeah, probably just and both teams really just throwing up that front line here, making sure that nothing crazy is going on, and we're going to see standard buffs here coming out of the opening. As far as opening builds, also no big surprises that I can see across the board, and it looks like we very likely will have standard lanes as well.
Yeah, both of these teams, not one team really has a stronger engage. Stuck in Cardboard, he does have that charm. And Vayne does have Condemn, but you have the Landos along with Gianna's Tornado. You do have Zach, which will have that slingshot ability. Vladimir, which will have his pull, so he can really negate everything, be the first one into the bush, to kind of grant protection down onto his team and give sight. So there's really no advantage to either team when it comes to initiation at level 1 to even go in there to grab a buff. So they're doing a really good job just going for the regular, let our jungler get our buff sting, and then we'll go at 3 minutes and see who ganks who.
Well, and in a best of one series, which is what this is, you don't want to throw anything away on a risky play, and so they're going to play very standard, just get into their own and try to win through just standard play here as both teams get their buffs, and a lot of action actually coming out here fairly early from this bot lane. A little bit of damage traded back and forth. Brown Handlebars trying to get in there with that those power chords.
Yeah, and I'm actually quite surprised. Azure Black, as they are regulars, they have been known to come in early game, and invade and get quite a bit of damage and kills down early on. So it's really quite interesting to see him play this passive and defensive so early on.
Yeah, trying something new, I guess, as both teams just kind of back and forth here. A fairly slow early game is little trades back and forth here across the map. Oh, we do actually have a pause coming out. We've got a disconnect, it looks like. So we will be waiting here for just a second. But either way, right now, if you look kind of across the map, and you can't because you're on the stream, but right now, currently, Azure Black is trading a little bit more damage just in general. And so it looks like they may be really trying to push a little bit earlier here and try to get an early game advantage. Really going to try to not let that Snipes get up, as we saw him last game on Twitch, absolutely obliterate his opponents. And so right now in the bottom, a lot of zoning going on in that bottom lane, as well as, well, we'll see here, I guess.
Yeah, 3 minutes in. Snipes did a fantastic job on Twitch last game, and I'm actually quite excited to see him play Vayne and see where his full potential as Vayne is kind of a bit stronger than Twitch in regards to late game damage and just that burst ability coming from Twitch. You build into that Blade of the Ruin King or Static Shiv first, and then you it's a must. Both of those items really nowadays are a must on Vayne. So quite excited to see that coming out, and especially what he'll build first. I know a lot of people typically they'll either build one or the other, but I prefer to build both Static Shiv and Blade of the Ruin King onto Vayne, because it just Blade of the Ruin King, great item. The simple fact that it adds attack speed, it has that strong slow from the active, and a good health chunker as well, and that Static Shiv proc. Especially the procs on that silver bolt, on that 3 silver bolt proc, that is just a ton of damage coming early on.
Yeah, and on the other side of thing, Tristana really gonna hit her stride much later, I think, and so we'll just see here as Gonna have a fair amount of damage here early game if they do choose to get in any engagements, but gonna kind of taper off a bit there until she gets her range.
Yeah, until she gets her range, she has to play really passive and use her jump. Smart. I'm trying to think of the word. Brain fart today. Smartingly. I'm just gonna make up new words now today. Have to use her jump. In such a good way because it is on a cooldown just to get away from that, not just tornado, but from a condemn. So early on, much needed sense. Vayne, in all honesty, that Vayne and Janna combination with the shields, she can just jump in and poke whenever she feels like it. So it's going to be real interesting to see once we hit that 10-minute mark and both Vayne and Tristana kind of start to even out.
Yes, indeed. As in the bot lane, we are returning to the game. Pagan does pick up a nice ward kill in the bot lane. His family puss is there. As actually Elise gets off into the mid, gets a nice gank. Did not even see that, but does get a kill here in the mid lane. First blood goes out to her and Wenzhou.
Yeah, very fantastic job on Inarashi helping the second cardboard, picking up that first blood. So, you can kind of both teams shake their shoulders off like, first blood is done. Now let's get serious. All teams, it's really just super high stress. They don't want to give up that first blood, and unfortunately, Eclipse gave it up. So that's some pressure off your shoulders. You can kind of play a little bit more, how would I say, like comfortably. Now that that first blood has been given, it's not like, the game's over, first blood is out. No, that's not the case. It's just it relieves pressure off your shoulders that you're not going to be the one giving up first blood.
Yes, as actually Inarashi jumps onto Chris in the top lane here, gets off a little bit of damage there, but unable to land that final stun through the pool, and is going to back out there. Trades a little bit of damage across though, so that is going to give Malphite a little bit of breathing room in the top lane. But meanwhile, in the bot lane, Snipes and Pagan continue to try to harass Trismac and Brown Handlebars as they are pushing fairly hard in this bot lane.
Yeah, but the damage being traded by both Snipes and Pagan, it's kind of starting to show as you do see Trismac is taking pretty low, almost a 50% health. So that shield just, stacking that protection. So as soon as that shield goes down, bam, he can go in there, get a couple shots down on the Triz, and then back out. So it's a highly effective combo.
And it looks like we do have a gank coming down here in the bot lane. Inoshi is there, does not land the stun, but that Vayne Condemn does get enough CC for Janna actually to pick up the kill onto Sona. Kill secured there as Janna picks up that support kill. Trismac now being pushed back here, and Snipes is going to get a chance to free farm and get a little bit of damage there for free.
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over for Sona. And yeah, I mean, you could have given that to a worse target like Vayne, but still, that's going to give Vayne an opportunity to farm up here, and it's just going to give this duo lane here from Wenzhou a good chance to apply some pressure in this bot lane.
Yeah, even though they were constantly being pushed under their tower, Vayne is still above on CS by 5. It's not a tremendous magnitude, but she does have an assist now, so Snipes in a very good position. Didn't get that kill, but hey, that assist is still better than nothing.
Yes, indeed. As Trismac is still in lane now with that support, Sona is going to be able to get back up in the health a little bit here. Sporting still only that Doran's Blade remaining in this lane, trying to pick up as much farm as possible here, but continuing to take a lot of damage. Looks like we may have a possible gank here in the top lane. Family Puss does get in there. That ultimate comes out from Chris X. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, as Elusive will be stay true to his name, and he will go under the safety of his own turret and back out. He does have teleport, so he will be able to return to lane if he wants to use it without losing too much farm there and to protect his turret here. And it looks like he is indeed going to use it on this minion to stay in lane as much as possible here without losing too much on farm. But he did take quite a bit of damage there from both the minions and Chris X and Family Puss alike.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens when instead of teleporting to the tower, you teleport onto a minion. You just take so much damage, and that's pretty much kind of a wasted teleport, as he is going to be forced back. But save the tower. I don't think they would have had the damage to take the tower down. So he really didn't need to be there or teleport there to save the tower. Per se, he should have been able to get in there back in time at least for half health tower. So, he won't be able to increase and get advantage by both Vladimir and Zach backing because he wasn't able to stay. He had to back. He was half health. So that really wasn't a wise choice, in my opinion, for him popping that teleport and then immediately having to go back.
Yes, indeed. A bit of a waste there, but at the beginning of this game, Azure Black was doing a great job of pushing in this bot lane, but since that kill there, since Sona went down, Wenzhou has been pushing very hard in this bottom lane. And right now, Chris X being caught in the top lane. Elusive and Inarashi are there. Chris X flashes out to safety, being brought to about half health. That is a flash down in the top lane. And so once again, these ganks here from Elise really just giving a little bit of breathing room to Malphite in the top lane. And, I don't think Chris X is going to feel too terribly constricted there. He's going to be able to get that health up fairly easily. But in the meantime, Snipes did go ahead, and actually Snipes did not back. He just looks like Janna backed and went and picked up that Sight Stone as well as another Vision Ward. But as the ward battle continues here in this bot lane.
Yeah, and we do see Snipes still doing a fantastic job on CSing, still above Trismark. So, just doing a great job. He still has that assist. He has 68 CS to Tristana's 60. And Tristana, Trismac still 0-0-0, and it looks like they are going to back. Yes, he does finally back, so he's going to pick up his first item, which is going to be a BF, so he's going to have some damage. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Snipes is going to have to make that decision. Do I sit here in CS and continue to try and get a lead onto them, or do I be and finally back so I can get some damage myself?
Yeah, and they may just push this wave up to the turret as best they can. And but yeah, he is going to be losing out on any trades after this. So yeah, it looks like he is going to be backing. Is going to have enough sword for a BF sword of her own if she wants. She does have that assist under her belt as well as that lead in CS. So it looks like actually she's going to go for the Bilgewater Cutlass in addition to the getting those Berserker's Greaves right now.
So she's going to be in a good spot, but that does leave that dragon open, so we'll be able to see if Azure Black will be able to pick this up and get it away. But no, there is Inarashi there as well as stuck in cardboard, so they are going to be forced back, and they are killing wards. So there's going to be no sight on the dragon, and I don't think they'll be in any position to try and grab it. Oh, the ward battle.
Yes, as these two supports have had their own little game going on down here, trading these wards back and forth. And yeah, right now Wenzhou sitting on top of that ward on dragon.
And we do see maybe possibly a gank, but Zach is there as well. Family Puss is there. Don't know what he's going to do with it. Inarashi in a really good position for a gank down onto Trismark, but Tristana, Trismark, one of the harder 80 carries to gank just with Rocket Jump alone. So, that's going to kind of be a fail gank, but there is brown handlebars there pinking that. That is going to be a pink ward battle, and Inarashi is there and possibly going for that snipe, but they do see Family Pushes. There is a ward there. There is a stun down.
Yes, is actually Eclipsal taking a lot of damage here from stuck in cardboard. Is forced to actually is staying there just to protect this turret, but is going to have to now back out. And once again, more battles around this dragon area as Sona picks up another kill. But in the meantime, Snipes, has been able to free farm continually in this bot lane. 90 farm right now. Continues to dish out the damage onto Trismac.
Yeah, and Trismac, just a single condemn combination, put him down to 50% health. So Snipes in a really good position with damage. So I could be... or not but we could be seeing a very quick tower here shortly, as he does have that ability to get poke off on a Trismac, even under tower with that auto attack tumble away combination. And we do see that Inarashi is now there as well, and this could be a possible gank.
Yeah, and looks like they are gonna. Oh, they do not land the stun. Brown Handlebars does get stunned out there. Does land that ultimate though. Is gonna go down. Game over for her. Snipes picking up that kill, and they're gonna be fine with that. They're not gonna push too much more onto Trizmac. They've got another kill onto the very squishy Sona, and they're gonna continue just to push this turret. And they may try to turn this into a dragon. 3 members are there from Azure. Black, and blindly actually throwing out that stun there isn't going to land on anybody. They are, ward coverage. Azure Black does see this, and so they will have an opportunity to steal, but I just don't know if they have enough here. Yeah, they're going to go and back off and give up this first dragon, excuse me, to Wenzhou.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where it's like, okay, I could slingshot in and potentially, it's never guaranteed to snag that dragon, but by doing that, that's a guaranteed death. Jumping in 1v4, especially with that Snipes being in the position that he is right now, and along with that, at least Inarashi doing a fantastic job of jungling so far. So that was a good part on Family Push, seeing that and be like, no, guys, I can't jump in there. I can't steal that. So that will be the first dragon of the game going into the favor of Wenzhou.
Yeah, and they have gotten themselves to a fairly early lead here, 13 and a half minutes in, and they are 18 to 15 and a half about. Trying to catch up right now is Azure Black, but Azure Black does have that very strong team comp. The AoE team comp, so they're really looking to wait for the team fighting stage of this game, and they just have not seen it yet. So, but yeah, that Vayne could get very scary here if they continue to let her farm and get kills.
And typically, instead of seeing that Janna Vayne combination, you generally, I usually see, and I like to see a Lulu Vayne combination, just with the simple fact that if you send Vayne in, pop that ultimate, get that one knockback, then get a condemn into the wall. It's just a really vicious and nasty combination, and allow.
Yes, it's actually an unstoppable force and a stun come out from Inarashi, and that is going to be a kill. And Chrisix tries to dodge out of there, actually uses that flash, but to no avail as they actually do pick up the kill. That kill going to Malphite, elusive there in the top lane, and another kill, 4-0 in kills here for Wenzhou.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job there. Like I stated earlier, Inarashi doing a fantastic job of jungling so far this game. Has missed a couple of stuns, but obviously it hasn't hurt them at all. And we do see in the bottom lane, Family Push did jump in there. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to really do anything with that, as Snipes and both Pagan just backed off, and now they are going to go back. They should have really kind of left one person there. They do have a decent wave, but if Family Push would have stayed there, they could have pushed. And meanwhile, middle.
Yeah, Inarashi getting fresh here in the red side jungle, getting a little bit of damage onto Eclipsal. Yeah, but yeah, he is all over the map as looks like Vayne and Janna are returning to lane. That Blade of the Ruined King picked up there. And yeah, I got to imagine that Wenzhou is going to be looking at trying to turn some objectives here within the next 2-3 minutes, as we actually see a gank coming out here in the mid lane. Family Press just unable to do too terribly much in these ganks right now, as he's kind of by himself a lot of times in these ganks. But in that bot lane, you saw Janna just with that disengage. It's going to be very hard to get to this Vayne to stop her.
Yeah, and as we actually have a look down onto Stuck in Cardboard, he's going for that more defensive and sustain Ahri build by picking up that Chalice of Harmony first. She does have that Fiendish Codex, so we are going to be seeing... Oh, what is that item called again? I hate that Chalice's name.
Which item?
What Chalice of Harmony builds into. I'm having a really epic brain fart today.
That's alright. No, yeah.
Or Unholy Grail.
Yeah, Athene's Unholy Grail.
There you go. That item is a cool item, you know. Gives you some mana regen. Gives you some cooldown. Gives you some damage. Good item.
Yeah, as we do see Zach and Chrisix here on that Vladimir push down this top turret, and so that is the first turret of the game down in favor of Azure Black. They're continuing to push onto this inner turret here as well. Right now, Ari is just now joining the fight. It's actually game over once again for Sona here in the top lane. Elise actually picking up that kill. Snipes there as well. That nice disengage here is the ultimate. Elusive actually gets onto Chrisix here. Skin is there as well. That ultimate coming out from Chrisix is going to do quite a bit of damage here as Skin Cardboard chases onto Family Puss, trying to trade some kills here, or get some more kills here as Family Puss has to get out of there. And 7-0 in kills right now. Wenzhou controlling this game. They lost that first turret, but they immediately tied up here. Bottom lane, and now they've got 3 men pushing on inner turret here in the bot lane.
And that is the turret you want, just due to simple fact of it leaves a Baron open if you push it up to that tier 3. But we do have pings for Orianna coming down, and unfortunately they will not be able to do anything with that. So, you know, that sets him up to Baron. That also sets him up to grab the next dragon if that lane is pushed. So they are just doing a fantastic job of systematically breaking these towers down. Hey, you know, Azure Black, they did get top. They probably stayed a little bit too long, feeling they could be really highly aggressive in the top lane. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, you know, when Zhao was like, hey, we can be aggressive too, they picked up 2 kills and 2 towers. So in the end of the day, it was worth it for Wenzhou.
Yeah, and action happening all over the map during that fight. Family Puss tries to get in there and does, at least for now, save this mid turret there for Azure Black, and they do have a couple members in the area as well. Sona picking up another ward kill as Janna and her continue to duke it out, and it looks like Janna will get the last laugh around this Dragon Pit for now, but Sona does have a ward there if she wants to use it. But right now there's no positioning. There's Family Puss actually caught out by a nice... charm there from stuck in, I guess we'll just call him. And not much comes of that. Family Puss fairly tanky right now. Does have that Spirit of the Ancient Golem, and he's going to be safe for now. But it looks like Team Blue does want to get in on this. Charm does land again onto Family Puss. Eclipsal being stunned as well in the background. Pops that shield, does get that barrier as well. A nice ultimate there from Eclipsal, though, is going to get some CC and damage off onto Snipes and Crew. And right now, a double kill coming out. A double kill from Eclipsal, and a double kill also from Trizmak that is nullified by Elusive as he does get in there to pick up the kill onto Eclipsal. But overall, a 4-for-1 in favor of Azure Black, and definitely using that team fight composition to huge effect.
It wasn't just their team composition, you know. They should have never went in on that. That's a really bad spot to engage as a single target team, and a beautiful spot to engage as an AoE team comp, as you saw what they're able to do with that nice crescendo coming down towards the end, and Trizmak just going ham on the entirety of that team, Wenzhou. So that's going to be a free dragon and possibly a top tower as Chrisix continues down to damage it. Pagan doing everything he can to defend it. We do see the ultimate coming down to get him off of that tower, but I don't know if it'll be enough as Chrisix is in a really good position to continue pushing.
Ooh, it's actually, they get the dragon, but Family Puss sacrifices his life, and they actually do pick up Sona as well on the backside of that. But in the top lane, Vladimir picks up the kill and a turret onto Janna. And Eclipsal now being jumped on by Snipes, who's just getting in there, picks up the kill. Ari gets an assist on that. And in the meanwhile, though, Azure Black continues to push this top lane as Chrisix is just now backing. But once again, they came off the backside of that lost team fight, and Wenzhou are now pushing their advantage and just trying to keep that advantage right now, as they did lose that last team fight fairly handily. Getting that mid turret, but Chrisix actually does not back, noticing that they're going for this mid turret, is actually going to backdoor here on this bottom turret. Janna is now up again. They're going to lose this mid turret. Family Puss popping that ultimate is going to get off some damage there. This mid turret does go down. Snipes get the credit for that, and Elusive with a huge ultimate gets in there onto Zach for the kill. Trizmak being brought very low. Chrisix now being brought low as well in the top lane, and Inarashi is going to pick up that kill. Action happening all across the map right now. 13-5 in kills, 4-3 in turrets, and a 3K gold lead for Wenzhou right now, as just everything happening at once.
Yeah, one thing that I just noticed, Malphite on WZ Elusive is kind of went for that damage Malphite right off the bat. Instead of building first in the Sunfire Cave, he actually built Abyssal Scepter first. So that's why his Qs and his ultimates are just hitting so hard right now. Is he has that AP, and not just that, that magic resist reducer by 20. So he's in a very good position. You know, he's 5-0 right now. That is one fed Malphite. You know, you were kind of thinking, oh, Snipes is doing a fantastic job, which he is, but Malphite being 5-0 and Snipes being 3-1, and even Inarashi being 4-1, those members are the members you kind of really want kills down onto, except you would like to see more onto Ari. But, you know, he's stuck in cardboard. He does have 5 assists with 1 death. You know, he does have that Deathfire build, or not Death, yeah, Deathfire build. So he's in a really good spot and position as well. He does still only have that Chalice of Harmony, so he hasn't continued to that Athene's Unholy Grail. And as they are continuing to push top, WZ Elusive just so tanky, not even really caring at all. And we do see Family Puss and Pagan now duking it out there, so this might be a top tower.
Yeah, and there are just small skirmish setting all over the map, and right now they're all just dancing around this, really trying to get this top turret down as Snipes gets off some really key auto attacks, and they are going to pick that up. And it looks like they're going to go in as Unstoppable Force comes out from Elusive. Family Puss is a little bit late to the party, but Snipes taking a lot of damage, does get that shield, that barrier as well. The heal coming out from Janet as well is going to keep her alive for now. Family Puss being brought very low. Is going to get out of there for now. A nice ultimate there from Eclipsal is going to get off a lot of damage there, but does get CC'd there. Family Puss goes back in. It's going to be a double kill for both Tristana and Orianna in a huge turnabout there. Eclipsal with that ultimate just absolutely annihilated Team Wenzhou, and they're going to get a nice push off of this.
Yeah, that ace is going to be much needed as they need to continue to push down. I don't think they'll be able to get that bottom tower in time. They might be able to. Both Inarashi and Snipes are going to be both up here very shortly. They are trying to push this down, but like I said, I don't think they will have enough time to be able to get this tower.
Yeah, and they are going to go ahead and back off from that. They do get this lane pushed down, and all lanes right now are pushing. That mid lane is, I guess, not quite pushing in favor of Team Azure Black, but they're going to have some members in the area here soon. And so a little bit of map control came from that that team fight, but yeah, right now Azure Black, if they win another team fight, there's a very good chance they're going to get a Baron or turn it into something else. And so if you're Wenzhou, you got to be thinking, we got to get a good team fight. We got to pick somebody off or get some way.
This is what they need to be thinking. We need to stop grouping up for that AoE comp to be effective. Not, you know, grouped up, but so bunched up together to where Orianna can land that ultimate and Zach can just come in and slingshot and allow Trizmac to come in there and pick up all those kills, just exactly how what happened that last team fight. We saw that crescendo initiate. It was like, okay, but that allowed Calypso to set up a beautiful ultimate that came down and just decimated the entirety of Wenzhou.
Yeah, no, and a beautiful, that's exactly what you like to see from Orianna, as both teams are right now dancing around the mid lane. Once again, Wenzhou still sitting on a 2K gold lead, but a little bit afraid right now as a couple of team fights have not gone in their favor. And they're starting to worry a little bit. They do have those 2 turrets advantage right now, but it is still anybody's game as both these teams vying for this the first place prize here in this the 42nd TowerDiveTV tournament here. Once again, I'm Gilfrost, and this is Grizz Rage, and yeah, we're coming to you live from TowerDiveTV, which I guess you hopefully know since you're hopefully watching. But either way, looks like Zach's going to try to push back this top lane, but the Dragon, I don't have the timer on the Dragon. I would imagine it's going to be up soon because it looks like they're both dancing around it right now.
Yeah, and there it is. It is up. They are going to go ahead and go for it, but we do see Clipsel there and around handlebars with Trizmac, and we do see actually WZ Elusive coming in, so they do wind up picking up that Dragon, and which actually could have spelled disaster for Azure Black if they would have tried to have gone in. that with WZ Elusive's nice teleport coming down, so they did a fantastic job of backing off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had that teleport coming in, so it would have been a 5v4, at least for a while. Family Puss was a little bit behind. He was in that top lane pushing, so he was not able to join that soon enough. And so they give up that dragon, still just a little bit on that gold lead, but it's better than losing a team fight at this point, as that next team
Yeah,
fight is going to be huge. It's going to it could definitely change the outcome of this game either way.
27 minutes into the game, you know, if you get aced, that's going to spell an inhib. Especially at this point into the game, you can pick one lane and push it all the way to inhib. As the respawn timers are going to be pretty high, but we do see Chris X in the bottom lane. He's going to go ahead and try and pick up that tower. Unfortunately, he was unable to, as we do see WZ Elusive just continuing down and raining damage onto him. We do see Snipes in the fray as well, and the flash does come out, so it looks like he's going to possibly escape, but
Yeah.
WZ Elusive still has his ultimate and won't need it as he gets that off. He gets his seismic shard right into the back of poor Chris X, and that is going to be a dead Vlad.
That is a dead Vladimir as well. Better than giving it to Vayne, I think, at this point, but you do have a 6-1 Malphite right now who is looking very scary.
Yeah,
As,
they did show two members bottom, so that would have been a perfect opportunity for Azure Black to try and sneak in a Baron. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do it in time, and it kind of leaves Wenzhou in a really good position to try and grab Baron.
Yeah, and at the very least, they're going to get some nice ward coverage around here. And they had really good positioning, little did they probably know, on Azure Black. But they did indeed get a few deep wards into that red jungle, and so they're going to return, push back these lanes, and continue this Baron dance, waiting to find an opening for a team fight, a beneficial team fight here.
And as we have a look over onto Trizmak, he already has his Affinity Edge, Last Whisper, and Zeal along with Berserker Greaves done, so he's going to be finishing off that Phantom Dancer and possibly building into a Guardian's Angel to where Vayne is a little bit more expensive build. Already has that Blade of the Ruin King, already has his Phantom Dancer, plus those Berserker Greaves, and a pickaxe. So we might be seeing an Infinity Edge coming onto Snipes as well. We'll just have to wait and see. And look at that, BF Sword as well. So that is more than likely going to be a Phantom Dancer and a very scary Vayne.
Yeah, and right now, I have a feeling that in these team fights, I mean, we saw that last team fight where Eclipsal and Trizmak just absolutely cleaned up with that Orianna ultimate, as well as just Trizmak in general just doing the damage. So it's really going to come down to which AD carry, or which carries in general, but especially which AD carry can stay alive throughout these fights and do the damage. And so we'll see how that plays out as both teams now posturizing in the mid lane. Actually, it looks like we do have Elusive going to be pushing this bot lane a bit there, and they are just now spotting this out, but Azure Black not reacting too terribly much to that. Just continuing to stick together and wait for something to happen.
It's a double-edged dagger right now, because if they send the entirety of their team down to try and stop WZ Elusive's push onto bottom, that leaves the Baron open. But if they try and contest at Baron, that's pretty much going to be an inhibitor down, as I do believe WZ Elusive could take it out in time.
No, most definitely. And yeah, so it looks like they are going to go and defend around this Baron pit, but that is going to leave that very scary Malphite here in the bottom lane, and they are actually going to start this Baron. They're feeling very confident. Malphite does not have teleport up, so they may trade a turret and an inhibitor here for Baron, but we'll see here as both teams posturizing around. It looks like they're going to go in 4v5 breaking on now. Malphite hurrying over there, but Chrisix goes down. Snipes goes down as well. A huge ultimate there from Sona, picks him up stands him anyway to get the kill, and Trizmak is going to be doing a ton of damage. Family Press trying to get to the back line here as on the other side, Elusive tries to pick up a kill onto Trizmak or Eclipsal. Trizmak actually pops that ultimate, or excuse me, flash to get out of there, but is going to stay alive for now. Picks up a kill onto Elise, and now Pagan trying to get in there, but Trizmak getting the reset on that rocket jump is going to escape, and so far a two for one really on this team fight. And yeah, Pagan trying to get out of there right now, but it may not be enough, as it looks like Trizmak maybe he'll get the life steal. Oh, as a shutdown actually going to Pagan. Not enough damage there Oh, and actually now Zach being picked up as well, stuck in cardboard. Gonna try to pick up those little bloblets and does pick up a kill. And overall, what was that, like a 3 for 2, 3 for 3? It's such a
That
long.
was that was quite interesting. Unfortunately, that fight kind of still went into the favor of Azure Black, even though with that nice Janna kill at the end, going down onto Trismac. So yeah, at the end of the day, Azure Black, they had the stronger team engagement and they showed it, but unfortunately they weren't really able to do anything about it as they all had to be in that. And the fight actually took so long that all the members that died, they were up by the time they backed. So that's going to kind of leave a free Baron open.
Yeah, Pistol tries to get in there. It's going to take a lot of damage and gets a nice ultimate out to keep herself alive for now. But Second Cardboard is getting in there, going to try to pick that up. And in the meantime, they do pick up a Baron. And so that's going to be a Baron to up Wenzhou. And they looks like they are going to go in back off, protect that bottom turret. As actually, and Hirashi gets a little damage onto Chrisix in here in the mid lane. But yeah, just because of that long team fight, they were Wenzhou was able to pick up that Baron on the back side of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to defend that Baron as they all beat. A majority of them beat, and a couple of them were still respawning, especially on Trismac's part, so he wasn't able to get there in time on top of Family Puss. So they didn't have that smite steal, and meanwhile, bottom lane.
Yeah, as actually Snipes catches out Chrisix. Chrisix tries to stay alive. Gonna get off that ultimate, gonna get off that pull, but it's not gonna be enough. And once again, actually getting caught out there. Chrisix goes down. And that's going to be a dragon, actually, for this Wenzhou team, which is just going to continue to separate them in the gold right now, as they are 21-12 in kills, 5-4 in turrets. They just got that Baron. They got another dragon there as well, and they just keep catching out members of Azure Black as Sona is chased out of that dragon area.
Yeah, unfortunately, just Azure Black, they have that strong team engagement with their comp, but they just keep getting picked off one by one, and slowly Wenzhou, they're just continuing their lead, and they're going to be able eventually, as time continues to tick on, that the actual respawn timers are going to increase. So pretty much we're coming up to the point of where a single ace is going to equal a GG.
Yes, it looks like Wenzhou using that health regen and just the overall damage that they have to get in here on this mid turret. Family Puss actually gets pushed out by that Janna ult, but a nice Eclipsal ult does push back Wenzhou. Family Puss pops his ultimate as well, but to no avail. Did not have anybody to bounce on, and using that Baron buff, Wenzhou going to try to lifesteal their way back up to health here. Actually, they are going to go ahead and back off, but actually a nice repel there from Azure Black.
Yeah, they did a good job. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pick up 2 or 3 kills that you could see a lot of members were really low, but a fantastic Janna ultimate coming down, stopping Family Puss from coming in there and landing that slingshot straight into Let It Bounce combination. So, like you said, his Let It Bounce wasn't able to hit anybody and continue down, raining damage onto the team, and they actually had a really strong disengage on the part of Wenzhou. So, fantastic job on both teams, but as you can see, they're already grouped up back at mid, and it looks like the push is going to continue on.
Yes, indeed, as they still have some time on that Baron, and they want an inhibitor. They did get a fair amount of damage onto that turret. It is heading on just by a sliver in this mid lane. So we'll see how Azure Black chooses to engage, as they are going to have some decisions here on whether or not they want to try to keep this turret alive at all, or really just concede this inhibitor. And actually, it looks like Wenzhou choosing to push these other lanes instead of pushing this this mid turret down.
Yeah, and as we do have a look down over onto Snipes, he does have that Infinity Edge coupled with the Blade of the Ruin King and Phantom Dancer. So that's a very scary vein. A lot of damage going to be coming from her. But Tristana has that Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisperer combination down. It looks like possibly building in to a Bloodthirster or Blade of the Ruin King herself, with that Vampiric Scepter finally being done. So it's going to be really interesting to see what she decides to build with that. But we do have members from Team Wenzhou now pushing down on the mid, with Vayne pushing bottom.
Oh, and that's actually Pagan tries to get in there, but Zach with a very short leap there doesn't get anything onto Pagan. And now this turret here is being pressured in the mid lane. Family Press looking to get an initiation, but not really seeing anything that he likes as, yeah, they continue to dance here around this mid turret. That Baron is worn off right now, so it is going to be a very even team fight if they choose to go in as far as advantages go, because this turret is not going to last very long, and that Baron is off, so we'll see what both of these teams do as very, very tentative, both of these teams. They know what's on the line. They both want to win this tournament, and it's a best of one, so this is it. 59K to 52K. Wenzhou Gaming currently in the lead against Azure Black. And pushing is actually Family Press does get in there. They're looking to get in there. Brand Handlebars does get CC'd and does not land that ultimate. Completely whiffed on that Sona ultimate. Is going to go down. Vayne picking up that kill. A nice ultimate from on that ball actually is interrupted as Vayne picks up a triple kill. Trismark trying to get in the back line there to get some damage, but he is being brought very low. Does finally pick up the kill onto Vayne, but it's not. It's going to be too little, too late as he goes down. Janna picking up that kill and the ace for Team Wenzhou, and they may be able to finish it right here.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be GG. We are at the 38-minute mark, so it is going to be really large respawn timers. And throughout the entirety of that engagement, unfortunately, I think Family Push went a little too ham and pushed himself too forward, and unfortunately, they were all forced back with that Family Push engage coming in from the slingshot. Brown Handlebars was not able to land his crescendo, so that was really detrimental, and unfortunately, Orianna not being able to catch key members with her ultimate. As you said, it was interrupted, so that was a very bad engage, unfortunately, for Azure Black. And as you can see with Team Wenzhou picking up that victory and the victors for TowerDiveTV's weekly tournament.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, just a crazy good game from both sides, really. And I mean, both of these teams fought through the bracket, and they definitely merited their spot. They were definitely meritorious of their spot here in the finals. It's just that Wenzhou took the championship here in style, and yeah, just an amazing game. Once again, this has been the 42nd of the weekly tournaments here at TowerDiveTV. Grizz Rage and Gilfrost here bringing you the action. We will have another tournament next week. For more information, definitely go to TowerDiveTV.com or check the forums, League of Legends forums. We will have posts for the next week's tournament. We would love to see some more teams sign up and see some new faces here. So. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out. And yeah, I'll be signing off for now. Yeah, see you next week.